I believe I can't improve unless I want to improve.
Way too many people bag their dreams way too early. They give up when times get hard. They give up when things don't go their way the first time. And that's not at all what you want to do. Your first failure, you should be excited about because you finally tried to achieve your goals. You were one of the few that pursued their dreams and passions of their life. So many people just sit there and settle for whatever it is that they're doing, whether they don't like their job or they just sit around and do nothing all day.
Like you said, I got so many different forms of leadership, and it just comes from my personality.
You should be excited that you are one of the few that tried to do what they want to do. And if it doesn't work out your first time, take a step back, realize why it didn't work, and then try again after you have some more experience and you gain more knowledge on that area. Because eventually it will happen if you put in the time, you put in the work and the effort. You need to make sure that you have been focused on your goals. You need to make sure that you enjoy working on new things and discovering what you truly love.
I want to be the greatest of all time, and that's just my mindset.
You want to have the fiery passion of trying to become successful just burning in your soul at all times, because those are the people that really make it. Those are the ones who go extremely far. Yes, they have failed too, believe it or not, and every time they failed, they've came right back and attacked it again, because they know failing is an incredible learning tool that you can gain information from. Even though it hurts, it sucks, but it's worth it in the long run.
Nothing that I receive individually is impossible without those 14 guys because of what they sacrifice each and every day.
People build our communities. To the class of 2020, as you celebrate tonight, do not forget your safety net. Every teacher, every coach, every pastor, they along with your friends and family got you to this moment. And now it is time to go to a new place. It is time to chase every dream, accept every challenge, strive for greatness, honor every promise, and recommit to your community. I know that's the last thing you want to think about right now in the place you've been sitting in for the last 2 months. Really, the last 18 years for you guys. But it's the truth. The community needs you. And when I say to the community, I mean your rec league, your church, your youth group, and most of all, your school. They need you. Most importantly, building your community is how you change the world. Unfortunately, the system does not solve the real problem. Education, violence, racism, they must be solved in the street. Class of 2020, I know the last thing you want to hear right now is stay home. That's not my message to you. My message is stay close to home. Maybe not physically, but in every other way possible. Pursue every ambition. Go as far as you possibly can dream and be the first generation to embrace a new responsibility, a responsibility to rebuild your community. Class of 2020, the world has changed. You will determine how we rebuild. And I ask that you make your community your priority.
One thing about myself, I'm real critical of myself. I believe I can't improve unless I want to improve. And ultimately, I want to become the greatest basketball player or the best player LeBron James can be. Now, if that means I've become better than Michael Jordan or better than Kobe Bryant or Oscar Robertson, then so be it. But if not, I want to maximize my potential. So the times of my rookie year where I was struggling, I found a way to get through it myself with the help of friends and, not having those, yes men around me because I wasn't playing with them. Our game is more mental than it is your abilities. One thing that I did a few years ago, decided to part ways with my agent because I believed that I couldn't grow as a man and as a businessman having an agent, say, well, this is what you need to do and this is how you need to do it. And I started my own company with three of my good friends, and it's called LRMR. We started our own marketing company. I kind of judge, by my own standards. As I continue to grow, I want the guys around me to grow also. So when LeBron James is done playing basketball, now what do I have for my guys to fall back on? I don't want them to be like, okay, now what do we do? Once we started doing that and I started seeing us become more and more and more seasoned at doing that, I was like, there's no reason why we can't start our own thing to a point where we can have our brainstorming opportunities where if we come up with something, people want to buy what we got, and that's what a lot of it had to do with. And just to say that you bet on yourself and you started from the bottom. You started from the bottom and you created something where you can look at it and say, wow, we did that. We did that. And we own that. Throughout this journey of mine, I've
just like, we always talk about the process, and the process of me trying to become the greatest of all time or maximize, my potential as a player. I also have to be able, once I leave battle or leave competition, to have to accept the fact that there's certain things that I maybe don't know or don't know enough of. So I have to ask questions. It's a challenging thing, but at the same time, I know that once I get off the floor, there's going to be more time in my life spent off the floor than on the floor.
And I never knew that it was hardships. I never knew what we was going through as a family because you kind of just shielded all that away from me. I never knew that I grew up in the inner city. I never knew that I grew up in what we call, the ghetto or the hood, because you was able just to shield it away from me. I only knew that until when I grew up. I only knew that we was underprivileged when I grew up and understood what underprivileged mean. I felt like I had just as much as everybody in the suburbs or just as much as professional athletes' kids. Every Christmas I had gifts under the tree. Every night I had food on the table. Every day going to school, I had clothes to put on my back. So I don't feel like I was underprivileged. I want to thank you for the sacrifices that you make every single day with me being a professional athlete, not being home all the time as you would want, well, every day, single day as you would want. But I want to thank you so much for what you do, not only for me, the support, but for also for our boys. You guys wake up every single morning and take LeBron and Bryce to school every single day, pick them up every single day, take them to basketball practice, help them with their homework. You guys are a blessing to me more than you guys know, and I appreciate you two so much. You guys are awesome.